Yeah, and they're trying to explain it. At the beginning, I was like, oh, this is really easy. It's not bad, but now it's gotten a lot harder.
That's exactly what happened in my statistics class too.
Oh, I'm getting a call from
Wanda is calling me. Yeah.
Maybe
Should we answer?
Let me answer it on my phone.
Wait, how? What the heck?
Call has ended. I know she said she's out.
Yeah.
Dentist, so maybe she's having trouble getting the invite. And then we're just waiting for Tiffany as well.
Oh, there you are. Okay. So I keep like, just the whole screen disappeared and I couldn't find you guys. No, okay. I have like 3 chat windows open because I really had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, it's needlessly confusing creating a Hangout. I don't know why.
Gosh. Well, and then YouTube wouldn't let me do it, so I clicked Hangout, and then those stupid little quotation marks just kept bouncing up and down. But okay, let me I'll send another invitation to them. And then okay. So how long do you guys want to wait to get started?
I actually have another call I have to be on at 9, so I prefer to get started sooner. It's not a big deal if I'm late to that call, but.
Do you want to just start now and then when they come on kind of thing?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. How do I get it to go live? Oh, start broadcast, right?
Yeah, there should be one for you to be able to say go live. Your camera also is not on or not working.
Yeah, I don't see you.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Ta-da! Okay.
There you go.
That doesn't work. Okay. So we all kind of at least like looked over the reading.
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys have any insights or anything that you kind of stuck out to you or that you had questions on?
Not really.
I don't. I mean, I haven't looked. I looked over it, but I haven't read it in depth yet. But usually it's pretty straightforward, and the chapters aren't too long or anything, so I'm good.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I struggled a bit with the test.
Mm-hmm.
I did very well on my first attempt on the test, and then I did it again, and I did great. I did fine, but at first I think it was harder to like understand what he was asking in those questions. But yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay. Let's see.
I was just trying to find his little note because he did kind of change the way that we're supposed, like what we're supposed
Yeah,
to do.
that's what I'm trying to pull up.
Is it in his in the announcements? Oh yeah, here we go. So there's just like 2 parts. Meet with your study group to promote a positive learning spirit. and seek opportunities for me to hear your understanding the material, and then post one thoughtful comment, question, or answer discussion board.
Okay.
So we have to do that as well as having a meeting. Looks like we got Wanda. Hey, Wanda.
Hi, I think I might be having issues. We'll just see.
Well, we can hear you and see you. Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you not hear me?
We can. I think there might be just a slight delay.
Yeah, the connection speed here is not great.
Okay. So we were just talking about how there's like the new format for our weeks. So we'll meet with our group and promote a positive spirit and talk about things, and then we also have to post on the discussion board.
Okay, so then I'm trying, is there something that we can relate the lesson to?
Something that we can relate it to?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, because we all kind of get what we've been reading.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty straightforward, so we don't really have a lot to discuss on that front.
Yeah. Okay. So relating.
Yeah.
Let me just look at my textbook again.
Okay.
So I guess this week it talked a lot about like how we can make sure that our studies are applicable and the research design is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like it's just controlling for all those other factors, which I thought was kind of interesting. And so I guess we kind of do that in real life and in all of life. We're trying to like control for other factors and trying to understand what the real answer is instead of all these competing things that come to us.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to find you guys again. I lost your pop-up window every time. But I was just looking at the notes, too, because that's, I don't know, I think that's like incredibly applicable. That you're trying to just, sometimes you just try to control the situation or what you can of it. But I almost think that would almost always directly affect the outcome, like it's not what necessarily could have happened or should have happened, but because you wanted it to come out a certain way, you really influenced it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely think like the researcher bias can come into it huge, that they're just searching for that answer that they want. And they talked about that a lot, which I think was good. That they understand that that's a big issue. And they talked about having like, if they're doing like a double blind study or something, having like different people, someone go in and give the medicine that they know what medicine it is, and then sending another person in to ask questions who would be unbiased. And I even thought it was interesting that they talked about how like in like a weight loss study, even the like weight of the researcher who's coming to talk to you can bias those questions and can bias the like conversation. So there's just so many factors you have to be looking at and understanding when you're creating this, creating a study.
Yeah, it makes it kind of hard. I mean, I wonder, I don't really think you can always have a researcher bias, I think, without even knowing it, because how can you, sorry, what?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a way you can get rid of every little thing that's going to influence a study.
Yeah, so I guess that's like the question of how reliable are studies and how reliable is the data. So I guess that's why they try to do more studies of the same topic and try and get more answers.
Can you guys hear me? I think I'm having issues. Okay.
Were you talking?
So this.
Did we miss you earlier? Were you trying to say something?
No, but it like kicked me out, and I couldn't hear Wanda and Michelle, but I could hear you, Tamara. I don't know how to say your name.
Tamara.
So it was weird, but I wanted to say something though, because it's interesting, because I actually just started a job where I'm like at a call center, but I'm doing surveys for research companies. So like, it's been interesting because we can't bias the questions or like the answers that people give. And I'm always thinking about this class now and how like I'm really nervous about biasing it in any way, because the smallest thing can cause bias. So it's interesting. It's actually important. But yeah.
Did they train you on that? On like how not to have bias?
Yeah, it's kind of like continuous training, because a lot of people, like for example, if I ask the question and then maybe the person doesn't understand, but they try to answer, I can like, if I try to explain the question, I can bias their answer just in my explanation. And so like our managers and stuff, they have to come to us and tell us like, okay, this is how you biased it in this way, because you just have to be completely straightforward. Like you can't put your own opinion in like at all, or explanation. And it's like, it's interesting, but
That's cool.
mm-hmm. And even like at the end of our surveys, we have to put in our own information too. Like you said, the weight, like in the weight loss one, even the weight of the researcher can bias it. Like we have to answer to, as like the surveyors, or the surveyors, we have to answer like if we are white, or if we are, like depending on what the survey is about, like what political party we are and everything, so that they make sure it's not biased. It's interesting.
That's hard. I feel like that would be really stressful in a phone call. Is it stressful for you, or you just kind of roll with it?
No, yeah, it is hard, because it's so natural and just so human to like say like what you think, or just even little tiny hints, without noticing, you might think, or what you lean towards, like the answers and stuff. So it's really difficult, but yeah, I think you get better though over time.
Okay, so just to kind of recap a little bit, now that we have like everybody in the group, did anybody else have any insights or any questions about the chapter, or everyone feels pretty good? Good.
I feel good. I'm doing fine.
Awesome.
I think
Okay, great. So do we have any questions for the teacher, or?
I'm good. The other thing I was going to say is I had a hard time, I couldn't connect to his video about our exam. And it says there's an updated link
about the
connect to it.
I had the same. I haven't been able to yet. I was going to try. I was going to try on.
I noticed
today.
somebody asked him on the questions and board
And that's
that the link didn't work. So it's probably his end.
yeah, I went on this morning just before the call and tried it, and it didn't work. So hopefully he'll figure it out and change it. Because I'm definitely curious to know about the exam.
About like what? Because it's the exam where what did he call it? Breakdown or whatever.
Yeah, so he just reviewed the exam and talked about like typical
Well, and
questions.
it seems like he's just going to review like the questions